If you've been thinking about buying an iPad mini, you're going to want to watch this first because some huge news just dropped. Now, folks, I don't normally do rumour mill roundups, but this one was so juicy, I just couldn't stop myself. I've got some news to share about the next version of the iPad mini, as well as what this means for the other iPads in the range, and also the MacBooks too. Before we get into that though, a quick word from today's sponsor, and you know what sucks? Having to be in one place at one time, and that is where Surfshark VPN is here to help. You just click a button and suddenly you're virtually in the Czech Republic getting cheaper flights and hotels, or choosing from over 100 locations and finding somewhere with tons of new content options. Top tip, Australia is the place to be if you're after the biggest Netflix library. And the best thing, unlike some VPNs that charge extra if you want to connect more than one device, Surfshark gives you unlimited connections. You can even install it on your smart TV. One account protects all the stuff in your house, no extra fuss. Surfshark also keeps your data secure when you're out and about using dodgy public Wi-Fi in places like cafes and airports, so you can be super sure that nobody's peeking at your stuff when you're doing your thing. I've teamed up with Surfshark to get you 4 extra months free on your subscription, plus they even offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Check out my offer at the code on the screen or at the link in the description, and thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this one. If you've been paying attention to Apple this year, they did something very interesting with their phone lineup. For the first time, they put a 120Hz ProMotion display in all their latest iPhones, which is a great thing. It makes a big difference, and to be honest, it's a long time coming. Well, according to Apple analyst Mark Gurman, Apple are gearing up to do something similar in the iPad and Mac lineups. They're going to expand their crazy OLED tech, you know, the one that features in the top tier iPad Pro lineup. And they're looking to expand it far beyond the iPad Pros. Well, the next iPad to get this tech is going to be the next generation of the iPad mini, which Gurman says will get an OLED display as soon as 2026. Now, if this is true, this could make this pretty much the perfect device. It'd solve the issue with jelly scroll, and the bump in the brightness could be massive. See, I was comparing the 500 nits on the current 7th gen iPad mini to my iPad Pro and iPhone the other day, and yeah, the difference is pretty noticeable, and it's getting a bit embarrassing now. I would just love to see this form factor with this quality screen. Now, the downside is that this new display will cost more to manufacture, so expect the price of this OLED display iPad mini to rise potentially by around $100. Now, interestingly, according to Gurman, the iPad Air will not get OLED in 2026. Its next refresh will continue with the same LCD panel, which is actually the same screen as you find in the iPad mini 7th generation. The iPad Air apparently will not get OLED until as late as 2027, and if true, that would make the Air a very tricky recommend, given it's neither the lightest nor the most portable iPad anymore. And an even trickier recommend would be the base iPad, which also has no plans to move to OLED anytime soon, possibly ever. Now, another interesting update which Gurman mentioned in his article was that Apple is developing a new water-resistant design for the iPad mini. This will have a new speaker system that uses vibrations rather than traditional audio hardware, and this means they could get rid of the speaker holes where water could enter. That's quite a different method to their iPhone's water resistance, and if true, that would be really interesting to see. Also makes me wonder, what about the USB-C port? And is anyone here desperate to have a water-resistant iPad mini? No, me neither. And elsewhere, we are expecting to see OLED panels coming in future MacBook Pro models too when they refresh, probably in 2027 with the M6 Pro and the M6 Max version. So if you're holding out for the MacBook Pro, either grab the latest M5 edition, which just released, or hold on to early next year. We'll probably see the M5 Pro and Max models on the way. And I don't think I can say Pro or Max again for about 2 weeks. There we go, folks. Would you buy an OLED iPad mini? And what else would you like to see in a refresh model other than a funky new screen? Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, if you're interested to see my thoughts on the latest M5 iPad Pro, you can check that out over here. See you next time.